Karen, and thank you, Laura and Monica, for bringing all the energy and of course all the giveaways too. That's really nice. I really do hope everybody connects, and I mean that's what this event is all about: collaboration and finding opportunities for affiliates to meet, even though we are geographically separated, and even though we are all virtual right now, it won't always be that way. And so let's make the strongest connections we can. We have another little fun thing that I hope will be exciting for everyone. It's the first time we've tried it, so please bear with us. We're going to try to do a 20 by 20 series of presentations. We're going to start things off here in just a second, and I'd like, if VSJ is there, for her to maybe introduce herself and introduce our first speaker with Hind. VSJ?
Hi, everyone. Good evening from Jerusalem. It's very exciting to be with everyone. And I'm going to be in Pittsburgh, I hope, and in New York and anywhere else anyone wants to invite me. And I'll be flying on my own airline because I don't know any other one that's going to fly me. Anyway, we're hoping to have some pechakuchas now. People who don't know what a pechakucha is, it's originated in Japan, and it's a kind of presentation which is short and sweet and pithy. And we're going to hear from a couple of people. We're going to hear from Hind first, then we're going to hear from George, and then we're going to hear from
You did it right. Jermaine.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was
Jermaine.
trying
There you
to
go.
speak with a good accent, but
You
anyway.
did well. You did well, my dear. No worries.
And then hopefully we're going to hear from James, because he was the innovator last year, and he'll talk about the ANPC. All right. Now, Hind. We've heard from Hind already, and she's going to talk today, right now, about her TESOL journey that started with being acting president of TESOL Sudan and led her to TESOL International. And we'd love to hear from Hind right now. And are we recording, James? Have we put on the recording?
We are. Yep, we are.
Good. Okay. So let me hand over to Hind. Okay.
Thank you very much, Valerie.
Pleasure.
I'll share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Great. All right. I hope I can keep it to 20 to 7.5 minutes. So here goes. Okay, hello everyone. My presentation is The Power of Affiliate Networks, and I'm going to talk about my journey and how it started with TESOL Sudan. And I use this presentation inspired by Scott Thornberry's A to Z of ELT. So I'm going to talk about my journey using the ABC. So A is for affiliate. My journey started with TESOL Sudan in 2015. I was the acting vice president of TESOL Sudan until 2020. It was an amazing journey, and the gentleman you can see in the picture is Ayman Sheikh, who invited me to join TESOL Sudan, and he's the current president of Africa ELTA, which is formerly known as Africa TESOL. It was a great journey, and I didn't expect to move to TESOL International, and I've learned so much from TESOL Sudan. B is for bridge. So TESOL International is like a bridge. So you either start with your local affiliation, you're a local affiliate like TESOL Sudan, for in my case, and then you move to the big TESOL, or you start with TESOL International and then you move to, you explore other affiliates and you explore your local association. C is for collaboration. So in my next slide, I'm going to talk about the collaboration between TESOL International, TESOL Sudan, and Africa ELTA. So I'm the executive secretary at Africa ELTA, which is formerly known as Africa TESOL. And there's always been collaboration between Africa ELTA, TESOL Sudan, and TESOL International. So as you can see from this picture, President Deborah Short is talking about the efforts of Africa ELTA during the pandemic. We also had, TESOL Sudan was an affiliate of TESOL International. However, Africa ELTA is an independent body, but there's always been collaboration and cooperation. We've had many presidents and past presidents at our events, and our first Africa ELTA conference was in Sudan, Khartoum, and it was financially sponsored by TESOL International. We've had Deborah Short at our first online virtual convention 2020, and many presidents like Deborah Short, Deborah Healy, Yulin Sun, Dina Bore, Deborah Healy. And at TESOL Sudan, we had Dudley Reynolds and Christine Cohn, and board members like Crystal Broody, Kathy Lobo. D is for development. Being part of TESOL helped me develop personally and professionally, and this is part of the Engage with TESOL video. And I talked about leadership development and how the leadership development program helped me. And at that time, I was the acting vice president of TESOL Sudan. E is for engagement. So through TESOL, we get to engage and meet people, collaborate, share ideas, build a permanent professional network. And it's people who share the same passion. And now I'm moving to my next slide, which is F and G. I put them together. And this is also talking about engagement. I always like being part of the Take 5 with TESOL series. And one of them talked about your favorite book. My favorite book is The Ikigai. And it's about finding your passion and having a sense of purpose. And that's exactly how I feel by being part of all the associations that I'm part of. How to get involved? So there's lots of different ways you can get involved by, first of all, exploring your local affiliate, joining a committee, reviewing proposals, the TESOL Lounge Live. There's so many ways to get involved, and you can start by volunteering, and that's how I started, as a volunteer on the Professional Development Professional Council. Then I is for incoming chair, and I'm now the incoming chair of the TESOL International Professional Development Professional Council, and this is our lovely team, and I really enjoy all the work that we do. J is for journey. So as I said, my journey started with TESOL Sudan, and then I registered and joined TESOL International. Then I moved to Africa TESOL as a PEDIA coordinator, and now the executive secretary at Africa ELTA, not TESOL. And then I moved to KSOL TESOL, which is the local affiliate in Saudi Arabia where I'm based. And it also helped me explore other associations like IATEFL. So I'm the Issues Month coordinator at IATEFL Special Global Issues Special Interest Group, English Language Testing Society, and I'm an advisor at National Geographic. So actually that all started with TESOL and TESOL Sudan. K is for knowing. So you get to know about so many different events around you. By joining associations, you get to network and meet people and get invited to events. I used to travel a lot in 2017. And at every conference, there was an opportunity to meet somebody and join another association and learn about new associations and new conferences and events. L is for Leadership Mentoring Program. I was honored to receive a Leadership Mentoring Program award, and I'm really looking forward to starting the program and learning more about leadership. M is for mentoring, and mentoring doesn't have to be official. So as you can see, Christine Combe, Ayman Sheikh, they've been my mentors, and now I'm very happy to call them friends. I still go back to them whenever I need help or support or I have any questions. N is for networking, and this was my first conference, not this picture, but this association, which is TESOL Arabia. And it was my first international conference in Dubai. And I got the opportunity to network and meet people. And as Laura said, it's connecting to TESOL people, my TESOL tribe and my TESOL network. O is for opportunities. So in the TESOL member moment, I talked about one of the advantages of joining associations and the opportunity to build a professional network and connect with teachers and professionals around the world, and being around like-minded people and sharing ideas, networking, and having a great time. P is for participation. So I'm going to talk about during the pandemic, it was an opportunity to participate in different events. There were lots of online events, and I got to learn about new associations like Action TESOL Caribbean. I presented, these are all my presentations during the pandemic. TESOL Caribbean, the Pakistan Learning Association, Peru Tech, and other associations that I'm familiar with, like TESOL Gulf, Nile TESOL, Africa ELTA, TESOL Arabia, and TEFL ESP. And of course, I love the TESOL Lounge Live. Q is for quality resources. The 6 principles for exemplary teaching of English learners, and that's one of my favorite books, and I always use it. It helps me in the classroom. So by joining associations, joining TESOL, you get quality resources. R is for representative. So I was honored to be a TESOL representative, a TESOL ambassador this year. I was an ambassador for the 2021 Virtual Convention English Language Expo, and it was a very interesting experience. It was very different from just attending the conference, but I focused on the sessions, I took notes, advertised, so it was really an interesting experience, and I really enjoyed it a lot. S is for Scott Thornberry, and again, this is this Petrakucha. The A to Z was inspired by Scott's an A to Z of ELT, and he kindly allowed me to use his idea. So a big shout out to Scott. T is for togetherness, and this is also from the TESOL post that focused on the importance of being together, to educate, advocate, inspire, connect, create, listen, prepare, nurture, learn, and coach. That together we are TESOL. I skipped a few letters. And finally, W is, what is TESOL to you? What is your TESOL story? There's always a place where it starts. When does it start? Who inspired you to join TESOL? How did you join? Where did it start? And why did you join TESOL? And how are you planning to move forward? Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation.
Thank you so much, Hind. That was terrific. And you can see the feedback you're getting on the chat.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And the words, the T for together, I think epitomizes what's happening this weekend with all of us together. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm going to call on George now, and he's going to introduce himself. George, are you with us?
I am. I don't know if I can go so fast and anyone can compete with what just happened, but
well,
I'll do my little part. Congratulations.
Welcome, George.
I think you did the Speed Gonzalez Pechacucha presentation. We'll give you that also. Yes, hi everyone. My name is George. Georgios, Jorge, anything you feel familiar with from Facebook or from the ANPC. I was in the December. I then moved on to the nominating committee of the TESOL. Change, use another hat. So let me get my all right.
Good, we're with you.
Okay, so can you see the screen? Yeah. Oh, that one. All right, so I'm going to be talking to you about TESOL Golf today. Before we start about TESOL Golf, and I know I'm going a little bit fast, I will keep that slide up and then I'll share it later so that you can see it's from a PhD done for IATEFL a few years back. And it talks about the relationship between teacher associations and how are they related with their members. And very, very few people join teacher associations. And that's connected with what Laura was saying earlier. So TESOL Golf, it was created in January 2020 by this group of people from Qatar and from Kuwait, not Qatar, but close enough. We started having face-to-face events. We actually had one face-to-face event. We started in January 2020. I went over to Kuwait from Saudi, and we had a very, very nice day event, and then COVID came, and then everything kind of stopped. So we didn't have any events. We're planning to have events in February and March and April and have another colloquium and so on and so forth. But because we couldn't have face-to-face events, and we were actually a very new association, nothing really happened. So we took a very long break until July. So that was a very long break, but we did manage to put up a symposium in July. And we had, all these lovely people. We had panels, we had sessions. And then in August, we started with an idea that I had was to have a social event, which is called Tuesdays with TESOL Golf. And the first event we had was in August, and people talked. They came and they talked about teacher associations. How did they join? Where did they join? What happened? And then this actually became our flagship event. So we had events every Tuesday. So we started in August. We first had the board members have a discussion, Alison Kushki, Sandy, Christine Koom, and then in September, we had more people. And this is something that, and the schedule is moving along, but this event was very, very, and still is, I think, successful because it came from the people, right? So people get to choose their topic and they come to our Tuesday event. They just let us know a few days in advance. They come and they talk about all sorts of things. You will see familiar people. We've had Lynn, we've had Fatima who's here, we had Anastasia, we had Glenda from Peru. I mean, it's really, really international, and we have people from all over the world. It is TESOL Golf, but it comes from, different parts of the world. You can see here lots of other topics, like teach with art. Araceli, I don't know if she's here, she did tacos and literacies. We had a speaker from Egypt. She talked about my recipe for online teaching. I talked about the Tuesday that I talked was encouraging online teaching. And then came September. So one of the things that we did not do a lot about, I think, and lots of associations do not around the world, and from my work in the ANPC I've seen, is we don't cater a lot for the young learners. So we dedicated a whole day in September where we brought international speakers as well as people that live and have worked in the Gulf region that have a specialty with young learners. And the event was very successful. We had over 300 people attend because I think the group has not been addressed a lot. Then moving on to October, we talked about something that is very, fashionable. So we talked about technology, and it was well attended, but we also had an event about assessment and testing, because again, this is something that was needed. In January, then we moved on to getting your personal and professional act together. So we talked about what do you do, because it was January. So this is when people start planning and do things all over. So myself and Christine talked about how do we plan our years, our plans, our research, and everything. Also in January, we changed. So we became from TESOL Golf, we became TESOL Golf. But our old logo got a little bit of a makeover. And that's very, very important also. So we are TESOL Golf, but we also have the word Khalij in Arabic, which is golf, just to incorporate and represent the area that we're in. We moved on with different events about online barriers. We talked about hybrid classes. The last event that we had yesterday was about well-being. So we try to cater the needs of our members a lot, and I mean they appreciate it. This is the TESOL Golf Board, and as you see, they're all the Gulf countries are represented: Saudi, Iraq, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. And then we also have international participants from Egypt, the UK, Pakistan, and Peru. All right. So it is a success story, or we think that it is a success story, because we are there every Tuesday. We're there regularly. We have a monthly event. We reach out to members for feedback, and we want to involve them with research and publication, especially with practitioners, right? And we are talking with Shadia and her team about creating an OER resource pack for teachers from our area. My advice to you: join a community of practice. You are members of affiliates, you're affiliate leaders, or you're not. I was in a group in the breakout rooms that they weren't. So please join, participate, come closer to your colleagues, help those secluded. They are secluded people that don't have people to communicate. And if you do want to communicate with me, that's my email, and that's the form to become a member, which I'm going to put on the chat box. And I think that's my time. I can breathe now.
George, well done. Well done. Bravo. Kudos to you, and kudos to everyone in that very energetic affiliate. Thank you, George. And we're going to go over to Jermaine, who is our editor of the newsletter and a driving force in the ANPC. Jermaine, are you ready?
I am ready. I think so.
Can you
Anyways,
upload? Okay.
give me 2 seconds here and let's do it. Can you see okay? Yeah.
Off you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much for introduction, and also thanks for you guys for being here at this hour. I'm gonna do my best also to keep it to like 7.5 minutes. I've already practiced and tried it, and I see the slides already moving on my behalf. Give you a little taste of what we got going on. We talk about creating communities, practice, doing more with less. Very similar to what George just said as well, trying to get things together. So as you can see, a snapshot of my campus, University of La Sabana. But what is a community for practice? Well, we talk about communities revolving groups of people working towards something they believe in. They might be geographically dispersed, learning from sharing each other's experiences. For example, English language teaching, TESOL affiliates, language associations, and also supporting each other like we're trying to do as well in the ANPC. But also the idea is getting better and more efficient in all the things we've got going on, involving the society, where we live, where they live, regions, groups of TESOL affiliates, etc. What else can I say? Well, sometimes we have to get some ideas in terms of what is not, I should say, a community of practice. Lots of times we think it's only a particular set of software tools that you can just buy and voila, here we are. That's not the idea. Or one-way public relation portal, and that's not the idea as well. Nor is it a training system with teachers and students. And sometimes even we consider communities of practice being a very expensive cure-all consultancy project, and that's not the idea. Yeah. So when we talk about communities of practice, also we're looking at communities of practice that can use different online methods and things of that nature to connect and organize and stay together. But what about cooperation? How does that work out? When I talk about cooperation, we're talking about domain, practice, and communities, but passionate. We need to be passionate about something we love and what we're important about doing. We need to also involve the right people. I see George just recently, he got a lot of people together in order to come out with his Taco Tuesdays and things of that nature. So we need to get involved. But just a really quick idea about, I should say, definitions related to what is a community of practice. Well, we can talk about a group of people who share social interaction. That's us. Common ties between themselves and other members of the group. That's us again. Groups who share concern, we all do, or are passionate about a topic, I think we all do as well, and who deepen their knowledge and expertise by what? Interacting on an ongoing basis. So as you can see right here, these are just some really clear definitions as to why we here at TESOL International and the Affiliate Association, we need to continue to work together. But we continue to actually talking about why. Well, to encourage sharing of digital teaching and learning resources. Well, not just digital teaching, but we can share a whole ton of things nowadays. And also, we talk about what working towards creating quality learning resources for the subject areas in accordance with the teaching context. Something if we can learn to work together, we can do a lot more. And like Georgia said again, participate in local international events. And also Hind, she talked about how her path through the whole entire process has worked out so far. Give you some ideas about what we're doing at TESOL Colombia and also TESOL Latam. We have, in terms of trying to organize a community of practice, we've worked with what? Invited participation from alumni from the graduate programs that we have in English language teaching. We work closely with pre-service teachers at other universities throughout the country. We also involve faculty members from my university, Universidad de La Sabana, but also other faculty members at other universities close by. Primary and secondary teacher educators, we try and get together with them because they have a special message to deliver. Language instructors across all levels of education and teaching and learning professionals. How do we do this? We work through diverse means of communications, talking about Skype, Facebook, there's Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and of course, we have WhatsApp. You see? So, what are some things that we can do in order to move forward and just some ideas to get us where we need to be? Well, we're talking about organizing alumni events. And when I say alumni, I'm looking at graduate and undergraduate programs, hosting field trips, which is also another good opportunity, joint talks, collaborative projects, I should say workshops and things of that nature. We also look at advocacy, which is a big deal, and we need to really work towards that much more. But if we work together collectively, providing a voice for the community, for the teachers. Lots of times, teachers, we do not have the time, energy, or I should say our personalities don't allow us to actually do much more. So that advocacy as well as providing a voice is awesome. An ELT challenge experience, which I love the most, which we've been doing a lot lately, we're starting to do more, where we come together collectively and we solve problems. You see, we do it in the business world. Why can't we do it in the educational ELT TESOL world as well? So we look at those ELT challenges. But why are communities of practice important? Well, they provide a model for connecting people in the spirit of learning as well as knowledge sharing, but at the same time, collaboration as well as individual and group, and once again, development throughout an organization. Here's some really cool reasons or importance as to what we got going on. We talk about what? Connecting people who otherwise would not have the opportunity to be connected. Like George a few minutes just mentioned, we have people that are just all out there by themselves. We can bring them in collectively, provide a shared context to communicate and share information, stories, best practices as well. We can also enable, once again, communication, dialogue between people that come together, explore new possibilities, look at new ways of doing things, etc. And we can talk about stimulate learning by serving as a vehicle, I should say, for authentic communication, mentoring, coaching, as well as self-reflection. But at the same token, we also need to talk about capturing and diffusing, doing what? Existing knowledge to help people improve practices by providing a forum, a space, yeah, to help them identify solutions to common problems as well as process that time to collect and evaluate best practices. But at the same token, why is it important? Because, well, we need to introduce what? Collaborative processes. New York TESOL just talked about a few minutes ago about all the awesome things we're doing on today. We talked about last night looking at all the different ways about the other TESOLs, what has been done, what they're doing. These are all collaborative processes grouped together so we can do some other things as well. And we talk about helping. We help the organize for what? Purposeful, I should say, actions that deliver tangible hands-on results. And at the end of the day, we talk about doing what? Generating new knowledge. And by generating that new knowledge, we help people to transform their practices to accommodate changes in needs as well as in technologies. To kind of close up and finish up my final thoughts, we want at the NPC, well, we want to work more together towards having more, I should say, communities of practice by providing many opportunities to create and disseminate the knowledge. Thus, we're encouraging you to take a leading role, a much more, because all of us here are leaders, but we want you to take another leading role in terms of engaging, being participative in those, I should say, proposed activities by TESOL International, but also by the ANPC in that particular instance. What else we can talk about? Communities of practice provide viable, cost-effective ways. You see, imagine if we all come together, we work together, we can get so much done at a very, very, very low cost. Yeah, in terms of strengthening professional identity and enhancing professional practice. And at the end of the day, community practice, they help us to involve a variety of formats, but are a good fit for any ELT profession in terms of getting our shared experiences across the globe. So if you are interested in organizing and being a part of that community of practice through the ANPC, through TESOL International, well, this is a good start this weekend here. So thank you so much for allowing me those 7.5 minutes. Actually, I think I took less, but I beat my own record. So anyways, thank you so much once again. My name is Jermaine McDougall, representing TESOL Colombia, part of the ANPC, and at Universidad de la Sabana in Bogota, Colombia. It's been a pleasure.
Great job, Jermaine, and thank you so much. That presentation was stupendous,
Wow.
and I think we must put it in the archives for everyone to have benefit from. And
Sure,
by the
sure.
way, you mentioned, among other things, advocacy. I just want to remind people that there's going to be another advocacy event coming up in the summer, and people should sign up because it's a very valuable event.